Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon. William V. Thompson of Bridging the Gap. Appreciate you guys coming back for episode 33. That was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's number, but some of you all don't know who he is, but one of the greatest players ever with the sky hook. But anyway, guys, hey, welcome back to Bridging the Gap. And remember, the overall premise that we're sharing with you is the standpoint that cash flow is the rocket fuel for you to build generational wealth. And everybody must have a game plan they follow. You know, every time we talk about this, we sometimes allude to monopoly because we believe that monopoly is not just a game, but it is your game plan to build generational wealth. And when you understand monopoly or any other wealth building systems, everything is predicated on, guess what? Cash flow. Today, I want to talk about a subject matter that so often people avoid. But it is a great way for you to create money. Everybody has a powerful weapon to create money, but they forget about it, and that's why we often teach the principles, stop looking at what you don't have, but rather you must learn to focus on what you do have, because it's what you do have that will create what you don't have. And I know you want more money. And the key thing that everybody has, but they really don't see the money is your credit. That's right. I recognize your credit score may be low now. And in prior podcasts, we gave you a game plan on how to raise your credit score about 100 points. Understand this, that if you can get your credit to about 700, I'm going to give you 4 ways that credit score can make you money and make you lots of money. So let's get rolling. The first thing is something called an authorized user. If you go online and you Google authorized user services, there are people out there that literally will sell the rights to their credit file to help you with no risk to them. And this is how it works. And you can do this as an individual. Companies will look at your credit file and they'll see that you have, let's say, a 30-year American Express like I do, or a 32-year Discover card like I do with little to no balance. That has tremendous value. People will pay between $500 and $1,000 to have you to put them on your credit file as an authorized user. Now, here's the beautiful thing about it. Number one, you get paid for that. You get paid for leveraging 1, 2, or 3 of your accounts. And the thing you're probably thinking, but William, I've worked hard to raise my credit scores. What if this irresponsible person doesn't pay? Well, here's the beauty of it. Unauthorized user, they never get access to your card. They don't know your number. They just simply will take your history and put on their credit file. So let's say if their history is okay, but by adding your 30-year American Express, they may pick up 30 or 40 points. Adding your 32-year Discover, they may pick up another 25 points. That's roughly 75 points that person picks up. All because you didn't give, you sold them the ability to use you as an authorized user. Again, they can't call the credit card people, ask for a card. They can do nothing to destroy your credit. And you know what I encourage you to do? Google it. There are companies out there making a lot of money and charging a lot of fees because people understand the power of having a good name. And I want to encourage you to study those companies because if you would take the time to build your credit file, and again, I think it's around podcast 2022 that we talked about that. So please go back because remember, your credit report is written verification of your integrity. And when people know that you have integrity, you have a lot of access to money. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one talks about cash bonuses and great incentives. I've been blown away because I really hadn't gotten a new credit card in probably about 7 or 8 years. My wife and I have sort of phased out of that. But I've been amazed at the credit card offers out there that when you have a 700 plus score, and by the way, the highest score is 850. I always advise my clients, make a goal to at least get a 777. It's one of those numbers that you won't forget. But with a high credit score, people will solicit you. I have seen credit card companies give you a signing bonus of $1,000 because they know you're responsible, because they know that they can give you a large limit. they're willing to pay you up to $1,000 bonus, all because you have a good name. Now imagine if 3 people did that. That's $3,000 you picked up just like that. Are you required to use the credit card? No. You're required to do nothing but cash the checks. That's right, because you've earned it because of a good name. And in addition to that, some of them are giving out 100,000 or 200,000 points. And I've learned over the years, I know when my daughter went to college last year, we literally bought her a $2,000 computer just from the points. So between the cash bonuses they want to pay you and between the points, guys, you're talking about with good credit, there's several $1,000s there. Remember the principle. Stop looking at what you don't have. You know you do have credit. Your goal now is to do what? Is to learn how to build that credit so you can monetize it. That's right. A good name, folks, is very, very beneficial in making money. Let me give you number 3 for today. Here you go. All right, I like this one. You can become a personal guarantor on a real estate deal. You know, for years, Council and I have talked about real estate. And in real estate, either you need cash or credit. See, he already has the system for you and many other investors, but they don't have the access to funding. So imagine this deal here. Imagine an investor finds a house that's worth, let's say, $150,000 when it's fixed up. But because it has a tree in it, again, Calcill's done a couple of tree houses we tease him about. Let's say picks up that tree house for maybe $60,000. All right, it needs $40,000 worth of work. You're able to go to the bank with your good credit, show them the game plan, and they would be open to loaning you the money for the house. Guess what? The investor probably couldn't do it. But the stronger your credit profile and the game plan where they see, well, once you fix the house up, we're only going to have $100,000 in it, counting rehab costs. You're going to be able to sell it in this market for $150,000. They like that spread. So now you leverage your credit. You didn't put any money up. You did some research to make sure that the numbers made sense. And now you leveraged what? Your good name. You go to the bank, you get the $60,000, they'll give you a $40,000 construction loan, get the house, rehab it, sell it. Now you've made $50,000. But remember, you have a partner. You have the investor who did the due diligence, who did the analysis, who negotiated the deal. But what did you do? You simply put up your good name. And for that, on that one deal, it is no reason why you would not split the profits 50-50. That meant on one deal, because you leveraged your good name, you just picked up $25,000. And folks, think about this. What if you did that just twice a year? You took your time, you found the right investment partner, the right deals, the right lender. If you did just simply 2 deals a year with minimal risk, you just made $50,000 in my example. And oh, by the way, worst thing happened. You would now have a house. Let's say if the house didn't flip as fast as you wanted it to. You would now have a $150,000 house. That you only paid $100,000 for it. So now instead of having $25,000 in cash, you have $50,000 in equity. Again, that's the power of a good name. And one final thing before we wrap up. And don't forget, folks, we want you to like it, share, subscribe. Get the word out there. We recognize, and we so often say, that a formal education, it will make you a living. An informal education will make you a fortune. And here at Bridging the Gap, we're all about helping you make a fortune, because we know that the only limitation you have in life, it's how you think. And if we can get you to think in terms of the monopoly system, as I said before, monopoly is no longer just a game, but it is your game plan or anybody's game plan to build wealth. And my final thought for today is simply this. Make money in the spread. What do you mean, William? I heard you talk about credit spreads, but what do you mean the spread? Again, imagine you have an investor who has a great deal, and that investor needs money. Because of your good name, you're able to do what a bank does. You're able to go out and you're able to maybe get money at 4%. Let's call it 5%. You're able to get money at 5% a year, 5 because of your good name. Investors are used to paying maybe 5% a month for money because their deal is so good. That's all a bank does. You put your $100,000 in the bank, and today's rates you may get, I'm going to say, a quarter of a percentage point. But they'll turn right around and loan you that money for a car loan, let's say at 5%, or credit cards at 12%, or home at maybe 5%. All they're doing is they're making money in the spread. I can only think of a few bad-looking banks I've ever been to. I mean, I've gone through some really nice banks. Banks don't have money. They have our money. So let's do what a bank does. Let's leverage. So the bottom line is, if you're able to borrow money at 5% a year, but find an investment that you can make 5% a month, that's 60% a year. So you're making 60% a year on 5% borrowed money. That's a 55% spread. And let's say my math is wrong. Let's say if your spread is only 20%. And let's say you did it on $50,000. That 20% on $50,000, folks, that's $10,000 a year you've done, because you've simply done what the bank does to us. Well, guys, that's all for today on Podcast 33. Again, I want to emphasize, subscribe, like, share, but more importantly, do this. Do this. If you want your life to change, you have to do these things. And here's my question, a statement to you. What do you want so badly in life that you refuse not to do it? I want you to think about that person that you love, that you care about, that's impacted by your decisions or lack thereof. And I want you to begin to do it for them, because somebody's destiny and life is tied to you. And remember, today is the day that you begin to change your destiny. Good day, and God bless you.